Bright QT. Every student matters.
Good morning. In the present video, I will be discussing topic number 8, functions. And this is a continuation of the previous video that I had taken up. So this is part 2 of topic 8, that is functions. Okay. So when we talk about non-formal agencies of education, so if you remember, I had conveyed to you that there are three types of agencies of education. One is formal, that's the traditional one, that is school and colleges. Then there is another one that is informal, that is the kind of education that we receive from our parents at home, mass media, etc. falls under informal. Then there is third kind of education system, that is non-formal education, which is provided by non-formal agencies of education. Now, when we talk about the non-formal agencies of education, like the formal ones, these are also organized. They are systematic. It's not that they work in a very, random and haphazard manner. They do have their rules and policies. But yes, relatively, if we have to compare it with the formal ones, they are slightly flexible. They are outside the framework of systematic formal school system. So this statement is actually trying to emphasize the fact that it is separate from the formal school system that we have. They provide special type of learning, and this type of learning is usually provided to a target group. So special population who have their, defined needs, what exactly they are looking for. According to that, the education is imparted to this kind of people. Now, reasons why, why is there a need of non-formal system of education, or why do we even have non-formal agencies of education? What happens is that some people, because of certain reasons, they are not able to get educated in the formal school of education. That's, schools and colleges and higher institutions that we have. They are not able to get educated there. At times, because in the reasons, in the cities that they reside, they are remote regions and there isn't, availability of schools at all over there. At times, there may be availability of schools, but they are not very good schools. Second is, at times, because of certain reasons, children drop out of school, right? Poverty is another reason that people are not able to take admission in schools, or if yes, they finish their school education, they are not able to do their higher education in colleges, etc. So these are some of the reasons why, it becomes important that non-formal agencies of education are there. Now, when we talk about non-formal agencies of education, it's important to understand that they are less formal in nature as compared to the formal agencies of education, such as schools and colleges. They are also relatively less strict as compared to schools and colleges. Yes, there are rules. Yes, there are regulations. Yes, there are policies which are followed, but relatively less strict. Now, let's take a look at the different types of non-formal agencies of education. So first one is open school. Like you might have heard about NIOS, you might have heard about IGNOU. These are open schools. So IGNOU is actually an open university. Open schools provide minimum education to a particular section of the society. So its main aim is to provide minimum education. Major aim that at least, people should be literate enough. Minimum education should be provided to a particular section of the society. And what is that particular section of society constituting of? These are people who are school dropouts. They are working adults. So because of financial reasons, they could not, they could not have time enough to enroll for full-time courses in schools and colleges. So they are working, but still they want to learn. So working adults, also working professionals, housewives also for that matter, people from socio-economic backward classes. So because of financial reasons, maybe they could not take admission in good schools or colleges, or not even in a school or a college. So that's the reason that, there is the option of enrolling yourself in an open school. Now, based on the recommendations given by the expert committee, which was appointed by National Council for Educational Research and Training, that is NCRT. Directorate of Open School was started in the year 1979 with its headquarters in New Delhi. Now, this is something which is important and you need to keep it in mind. Let's have a look at the different features of Open School. Now, it's important to understand that as it is in the formal agencies of education, over here, there isn't any binding of time. So there is flexibility which is given. Largely because the teaching which is usually given over here, it is through online mode. There is flexibility of time and there isn't any binding of time. Flexible it is in matters of curriculum, yes. Choice of subjects also is available. So students can choose, working professionals, housewives, they can make their choices which subjects they would want to learn, and then accordingly they can enroll themselves in these kind of courses provided in Open School. There isn't really any binding of space, considering that it is largely via the online mode. So it is usually non-institutional in nature, where there isn't any physical building, etc., and you have to go daily to take classes, etc. So that kind of system is not followed in Open Schools. Age also, there isn't any binding for age in Open Schools. So you may be an adult, you can get yourself enrolled in Open Schools. However, if you are taking admission in the normal schools that we have, the formal agencies of education, over there is an age limit, right? But in Open Schools, no, there isn't any binding of age. In fact, flexibility is maintained in terms of admission also and in examinations also. Instructional materials, the content which is given to you in terms of study purpose, they are usually printed lessons and they are supplied to you. So they take your address, etc., and then they send it to your place. Different mediums of multimedia, radio, TV, films, audiovisual aids, all these are utilized by Open School. So Open Schools brings courses for those who have never had any formal school education. So it's actually a blessing in disguise for these kind of people who did not get an opportunity to enroll themselves in formal school or formal colleges. Open Schools offers both kind of education, that is technical education as well as non-technical education. Non-technical education is your normal education, education in terms of knowledge which is imparted to you about geography, political science, public administration, social science, science, biophysics, chemistry, etc. When we talk about technical education, this is regarding vocational training. So it's from the point of view that, if you are learning this, if you're getting education about this particular course, tomorrow on the basis of that, you will get, job. So technical courses, for instance, hardware courses, computer hardware, etc., sewing courses, handicrafts, etc. So this basically gives you an opportunity to learn while you are earning. That's the reason we emphasize that Open Schools is, providing education to working population or working adults also. The learners, therefore, are free to learn what they want, when they want it, how they want it, where they want it. When they want it, which means it's self-paced learning largely. How they want it, whether they want to, read the printed lessons which are provided, or whether they want to watch the lessons which are provided, let's say, in CDs to them at times, where they want to study it. So even, they may carry the CDs or the content to their workplace also at times, and in their free period, they may listen to that at their home also. So where also there is an option, because they don't really have to go to an institution to study it. That's the reason we say that it's provided in a non-institutional setting. And multimedia agencies are there, audiovisual aids are there to enhance the teaching. So Open University opened the doors of higher education to a lot of people, to millions of aspiring students who wanted to get educated, but could not, because of one reason or another, enroll themselves in schools and colleges. So there is actually a high demand for formal higher education, but there is an inadequacy or shortage of formal institutions to admit all this high number of students. Because of this, the government of India started open schools and open universities in our nation. So it's important to understand why exactly open schools came up. The first open university was established in the year 1982 in Andhra Pradesh. If you look at the main features of open university, they are as follows. There is scope for people to receive adult as well as continuing education, right? So yes, I told you that there isn't any age limit, age binding, so adults can enroll in it. Continuing education, so if you are a dropout, you can continue your education over here. Open schools offer education on part-time basis. This is very important. So, because it allows you part-time education, so you can work also, and therefore it is suitable and appropriate for working population as well as housewives to enroll themselves. There is an open entry system for anyone who has reached the required age of 21 years. Open schools offer a wide range of subjects. You can choose whatever you want to opt for, and it's certainly a blessing for working professional and employees. Printed knowledge, yes, they provide you printed material to read, based on which they take your tests and exams also. But along with that, they supplement it with radio programs, television, and any other multimedia tools. Open schools provides educational opportunity to underprivileged section of society who could not afford and enroll themselves in schools and colleges. It provides education to disadvantaged people as well as people who are engaged in work. That's the working professionals. In fact, people living in remote areas of the country as well. So where the facility of schools or colleges is not there, so people in those kind of areas and regions also can actually enroll themselves in open schools, because they don't have to go in a particular institution and take the classes. So that's the benefit of it. Open schools provides vocational as well as technical courses for those who are unable to enroll themselves as full-time students. So vocational and technical courses largely so that tomorrow you can, based on that, get a good job. It also helps you in getting higher degrees. So degrees also you get from these schools and university. So if you look at the statistics, nearly 1/4 enrollment in higher education in our country depends upon open universities. So you can see from this, observe from this, how important open schools and universities are in our nation. Indira Gandhi National Open University, the one that I was mentioning you just now, which is commonly referred to as IGNOU, was established in the year 1985, and it is situated in Delhi. Hundreds of students, including a lot of working professionals, working teachers also, they get enrolled for the technical as well as higher education courses which are provided in IGNOU. So everywhere and every year we see that there is a lot of students enrolling for these courses. It's a blessing for the working people, for the working population of India who want to be educated and who are interested in higher studies. Now, another non-formal agency of education apart from open schools is distance education, which is also referred to as correspondence education. Now, there is a difference in open schools and distance education. When we were discussing open schools, that is largely non-institutional in nature. So there isn't any physical building. You don't have to go and, there isn't any classroom over there where you sit and take your lessons. But when we talk about correspondence education or distance education, it's actually a system of education where a formal school, university, or any other educational institute for that matter offers instruction partly or wholly through mail. So students or children or people, because of any illness, who had to leave their education in between, or who are very poor, could not afford further education, or people who stay in remote areas and do not have good colleges and schools over there, or people who had to leave their education in between because of family reasons and obligation, or who have time constraints. Distance education is actually a very good opportunity for them. It's very important to understand that it's a system of education where a school or any other university, for that matter, education institute, offers instruction partly or wholly. So it is institutional in nature to a very large extent. It is not non-institutional in nature. Now, what kind of people it's actually useful for, that is important to understand. So it's mainly for the following types of individuals: people who are interested to improve their qualification, who want to take degrees, higher degrees; those who wish to learn and who are motivated for learning, so they can enroll themselves in professional courses and they can learn those who desire to continue the education without getting formally admitted in any formal institute of learning. So people, who because of paucity of time, etc., who do not want to take regular classes, they can enroll for correspondence courses in any formal institute of learning. Those who are interested in learning different types of courses for their quest of knowledge, you might have seen there's some people who want to enroll for one particular course, and then there is more hunger for learning. They want to enroll themselves in another course. So learning different types of courses, those kind of people also, it's suitable for them that they can study some courses in their life through correspondence, because it's not really feasible to enroll yourself in regular courses every time. Those who live in remote areas where there isn't any facility of institutions for higher learning or education. Yes, distance education is also known as correspondence education. It's also referred to as distance education, independent study. Why? Because it is largely self-paced in nature, home study. You get the material, you study it at your convenience, at your home only. Indian Education Commission calls it as own time system because it's self-paced learning essentially. Distance education has brought learning at the doorstep of the learner, so it's very convenient for all of you to stay back at home, get the content, and you learn it. So you are also associated with a particular formal school and a formal university. You give exams of this particular school and university, but you don't have to go there for regular classes. It's very economical if we talk about money as well as time. And because of the increasing demand for education, this is actually a very good opportunity. We have an increasing demand for education, and we do not really have, the possibility and feasibility that we can give admission to almost everyone who desires to be educated, right? So that is actually a challenge for the nation also. Equal educational opportunities to all can be provided through distance education. So this actually makes it possible that everyone who wants to study across the nation, they can get an opportunity to enroll themselves in this particular course and learn and get educated. Now, in the year 1962, Directorate of Correspondence Education was established in Delhi University. At present, there are more than 70 universities with correspondence courses. So you can see that a lot of formal agencies of education, 70 universities actually, they have courses which are correspondence courses or distance courses. Advantages of studying through these correspondence courses or distance courses are, first of all, it's very economical in nature. Second is it provides education according to the convenience of the learner. So as per your comfort, let's say for one entire week, it's easier for you, some work commitment is not there, so you can as per your availability of time, study a lot in that particular week. Next week, maybe, your employer has given you a lot of work. So it's not, really possible for you to study and give that much of time to your course. So as per your convenience, as per the availability of time, you can schedule yourself. This is what exactly is self-paced learning. So some weeks you may be putting in a lot of hours. Some weeks you may be, not able to put a lot of hours. So it's as per your convenience. Economical also, I would want to bring one point over here, that because you're not every day commuting to the university, that ways it saves a lot of your petrol also, money also in that matter. Third, there is freedom for students regarding timing. So as per their comfort, they can, manage their schedule. They can schedule that today I will be covering this much topic, or this portion of the chapter. Tomorrow I will be covering this much portion of the chapter. So there is flexibility and freedom in terms of timing as well. One does not have to go to any institution. Yes, you enroll yourself in an institution. Yes, you enroll yourself in a formal agency of education, but you do not have to go daily to that institution. It does not require building as well as furniture. Regular teachers are not needed for that matter, and even equipment for that matter is not needed. But yes, this is one disadvantage, that when you do not have a teacher in front of you, so if you have some doubts to clarify, it becomes a little difficult for you. It's a challenge for you, that you have to kind of sort it out yourself, right? That is one disadvantage of this kind of correspondence education. An individual can do specialization in any subject, so you have a range of subjects to opt from. You can choose whichever you want to as per your interests. So the student is free from regular homework. So just the way you get it in schools and at times in colleges also, not everywhere and not in every college, regular homework is not given to you in correspondence courses. So that is again a major advantage of this. Drawback, as I was just highlighting it to you, that there isn't any close relationship between the teacher and the student, considering that you do not have to go every day to the classroom. So therefore, if you have certain doubts in your mind, it becomes difficult for you to resolve them. However, there is one plus point of this kind of correspondence courses, that there is something which is known as personal contact program, referred to as PCP, which is actually a compulsory part of the system of education. So it's a compulsory part of correspondence education. What happens is, the universities which conduct correspondence courses, they arrange for these personal contact programs in institutions for students living in different areas. What happens in this program is that there are classroom lectures and discussion which happens for 15 to 21 days. This is very important. It's compulsory for every student who is taking these correspondence courses to attend these classes and come for discussion. Why is this given? So that students can interact with the teacher and they can ask their doubts, etc. So to resolve the major problems of the students, that is the reason that personal contact programs are there. So so this is part 3 of this particular topic. In this video, I will be starting with the different guiding agencies of education. So first of all, I'll be familiarizing you with like what exactly is a guiding agency of education, and then we'll also have a peep into what are the different existing guiding agencies of education in our nation. So when we talk about India, school education is a matter which is managed both by the union government as well as it is managed by the state government. So it's important to understand that it's not only something which is the responsibility of the union on the central government, it is the responsibility of the state government as well. The institutions which coordinate as well as which maintain the quality in the universities, they are referred to as the guiding agencies of education. So first of all, it's important to understand that these guiding agencies of education, they coordinate between the different educational institutions. Second is, they have the responsibility of maintaining the quality of education. So it's not only about imparting education to people, it's also about maintaining standards. It's also about giving quality education to the citizens of India. So that responsibility essentially lies with the guiding agencies of education. So let's look at the first guiding agency of education, that's NCERT. Commonly, it's known as NCERT. You might have heard a lot about it. In newspapers also, you might have read about it. So it's the full form of NCERT is actually National Council of Educational Research as well as Training. From the name only, if you look at the name, you can see that first of all, it's the National Council. Second is it's got to do something with education and educational research, which means it promotes research. It promotes training also. It provides training programs to students and even to teachers. So teacher training programs are also there. This was established in 1961, 1st September 1961 at New Delhi to provide academic support for improving the quality of school education in India. Now, this is highly engaged in assisting as well as in advising the need-based school improvement programs. So it conducts actually a survey, need analysis done, what all new needs to be brought about in the schools, how to improve their functioning, etc. So based on that, it conducts a lot of improvement programs. NCERT has also established SCERTs. Now, what are SCERTs? It refers to State Council of Educational Research and Training. So when we were talking about NCERT, that's the National Council, it has further established SCERTs, which are State Council of Educational Research and Training. And even SIETs for that matter, which is State Institute of Educational Training. DIETs, which are commonly referred to as DIETs. This is District Institute of Education Training. Now, all these are established in almost all the states of the country. Headquarter of NCERT is the capital of the country, that's New Delhi. NCERT basically acts as an academic advisor to the Ministry of Human Resource and Development, information of different policies of education, and also an implementation of these policies. So it works as an advisor to the MHRD and assists it in formation of policies as well as checks whether they are implemented in a proper manner or not. So let's have a look at the different functions of NCERT, that is the guiding agency of education. First of all, research. So this particular council undertakes research in the field of education. So it promotes, encourages researchers in the field of education. It assists other agencies by giving grants to them, financial grants, so that they can conduct research work in different fields. So in different spheres, be it in bioinformatics, be it in IT, be it in science, as in medicine or physics, chemistry, etc. So it promotes research. It also provides training. So the council organizes training programs for pre-service as well as in-service teachers. So teachers who are actually working currently in schools, and also pre-service, before they join in. So orientations that we usually call as pre-service training, so that, they are familiarized with what is actually expected out of them, how schools function, etc. So pre-service training is also provided. Educational surveys are also conducted by NCERT. So periodical surveys, annual level surveys, 6-monthly surveys, as per the requirement, they are conducted in order to check what is the actual condition of school education in India. And then based on that, they come up with, suggestions, they give their feedback, etc. Publications. So NCERT basically publishes educational journals. They publish research papers, school textbooks. They also publish a guide for teachers, which is referred to as Teacher's Guide, workbooks, as well as instructional material and content for teachers as well as for schools. It also has a lot of influential role in terms of examination reforms. Council has another important activity in the field of examination. To achieve this, they organize seminars, they organize workshops, they also organize trainings, extension lectures, etc. on a regular basis. Let's move forward. Human values. So NCERT basically provides instructional material for the promotion of human values in education to schools. So content or syllabus matter or chapters which are promoting virtues in students, they are basically highly promoted by NCERT. So their motive is that human values and virtues must be inculcated in the students. So they provide material which is somewhere promoting virtue development or human values or moral development among the students. Population education, the council organizes some programs on population education in schools for awareness purpose. NCERT, therefore, we can say, has established its place for regulating as well as promoting school education in India. Regulating because it coordinates a lot among the different educational institutes, and at the same time promoting school education. So it encourages school education by actually checking whether quality education is provided to people or not. Another guiding agency of education is, this one is for the higher education. This is referred to as University Grants Commission, UGC. It's also known as Radhakrishnan Commission. This body allocates grants to the universities for improvement as well as development of different universities. So it checks, what is the condition of these universities for improvement of, let's say, infrastructure, etc., maintenance purposes, development, so that they can buy, new modern equipments. So for that also it gives grants to the universities. University Grants Commission actually came into existence by a resolution of the Ministry of Education in the year 1953. And UGC Act, this is important for you, these facts are important for you, so you should be aware of these. UGC Act was actually passed in the Parliament in the year 1956. Now, if you look at the objectives of UGC, first one is to maintain academic standards of universities. Just the way NCERT basically deals with checking that quality education is provided in schools, UGC is checking that academic standards of universities are maintained. So quality education is provided to the people studying in universities. It also checks and coordinates different educational policies and also check that they are implemented in a proper manner. It gives grants to universities so that they can develop and be, up to date in terms of the present scenario. It also gives grants to individual, that students or some group of teachers, for research purpose. So it promotes research and development in the nation. When we talk about the different powers and functions which UGC has, so first one is that it takes steps for the promotion as well as coordination of university education. Next is it maintains the standards of teaching, maintains the standards of examination also. So will it be an open book examination? Will it be, a semester examination, annual examination? What will be the method adopted to conduct the examination? All these things, maintaining its standards, maintaining its transparency, having a robust mechanism of examination, that again is the responsibility of UGC, and conveying of results of the examinations conducted. UGC also allocates as well as distributes grants to university for their development as well as for their growth. It even distributes grants to deemed universities. So universities which are not actually passed as per legislation, but they are deemed to be universities. It also provides grants to these universities. UGC recommends necessary measure for improvement to a particular university. So it basically tells the university that this is something which is lacking in you, you need to work on these areas, and it gives its feedback. So time to time, UGC forms committees which advises the government for opening a new university or universities. So they do a need-based analysis, and based on that, they get to know that yes, there is some requirement of opening new universities. They advise the government that there should be, uh, you know, one more new university or multiple universities. It forms committees for the inspection of the university to check, everything is as per the standards or not. So are good training programs provided to the students and the teachers or not? What kind of courses are being taught to the students? Are they up to date courses or not? Syllabus, is it up to date or not? Is it having value in terms of professional value or not? Is it going to help the student to get a good job or not? Many things are kept in mind when they are rating the different universities. UGC inquires for financial requirements of different universities. It inquires for it, and then they are the final decision makers how much they would want to give in terms of grants. So it allocates grants to the universities affiliated colleges also, so that development can happen in these colleges as well. UGC makes 5-year plans for the development of colleges that come under universities, and it allocates grants according to their needs. So therefore, we say that UGC has the leading role in the field of higher education of the country. It's very important to understand that it is essentially associated with higher education of the country. It maintains standards of teaching, standards of examination, as well as standards of research in the different universities of the country. Now, the last guiding agency that I will be taking up with you is UNESCO. Full form of UNESCO is United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. Now, in the year 1945, all across the world, countries assembled and they signed the constitution of an organization which was established in the year 1946, and it came to be known as UNESCO. Aim, if we look at UNESCO, major aim is to free mankind from war, to create proper educational as well as psychological climate for single world society. So basically, its motive is to promote peace among different nations. Its main objective is promoting moral as well as intellectual solidarity of mankind. It also works for cultural promotion and educational promotion among people across the world. So it promotes, different cultures in different areas of the world. So if you look at what is mentioned in the preamble to the Constitution of UNESCO, it reads like this: since war begins in the minds of men, it is in the minds of men that defenses of peace therefore must be constructed. So through education, UNESCO is trying to target that peace is maintained across all nations and cultural and educational promotion can be carried out. UNESCO therefore stands for world peace as well as world prosperity. So it's not for one particular culture's prosperity that it's aiming for, it's for world peace and for world prosperity. Now, there are a couple of functions of UNESCO. We have educational function, scientific function, as well as cultural function. We will take a look at them in detail. When we talk about the educational function which is carried out by UNESCO, its aim is that there is universal literacy. So its intention is that everybody should be literate. Secondly, it focuses on adult education, especially in the developing as well as underdeveloped countries. So they want that people who could not get educated, are currently adults, could not get educated because of different reasons, be it poverty, be it some personal reasons, they must get educated. Third one is lifelong continuing education. This is what it's trying to provide to people. So if you look at the different functions that it provides to people all over the world, first is to provide education to children as well as to adults. So its age is not a bar. to remove illiteracy, to arrange educational programs for those who failed to get education while they were children. At the same time, to establish regional research and training centers for schools as well as teachers. So you can see that its focus is also on research and development. Its focus is also on training teachers. It also helps in arranging distance education. So people who cannot take regular classes, who want to do self-paced learning, it also provides arrangement for them. UNESCO also checks and watches that educational material is provided to the students. It gives grants to bodies, the ones who are worthy of being given grants. It also helps in arranging multimedia approach for education. So it ensures that audiovisual aids, etc., they are provided. It also experiments with the new innovations in the area of education. So anything which is, as per the present times, essential. So new experiments, new innovations are time to time done, and it promotes that. It makes provision for the training of various categories of teachers so that, skill upgradation of teachers can also happen. It gives grants to schools so that, they can buy textbooks. It gives grants to schools so that they can arrange for projectors, computers, and other essential equipment such as laboratory equipment in their school setup. It also establishes international institutions or educational planning in Paris. Why do we say Paris? Because its headquarters, they are in Paris, with the purpose of planning global program for education. So UNESCO is not actually catering to the needs of one particular nation. Its idea is to promote education across the globe. Second kind of function that is referred to as the scientific function. So UNESCO basically tries to encourage the young generation for scientific inquiries, for developing their scientific attitude. So in different ways, it tries and encourages people and students that, they have a scientific mindset. They ask questions, they start thinking from different angles, and critically they assess a particular situation and a problem, which was actually referred to as scientific mindset, a rational mindset, a logical mindset, which is very good in terms of you can say concepts, abstract concepts, or hypothetical concepts also. So that kind of mindset is actually promoted by UNESCO. It promotes the work of international scientific institution. At the same time, it gives opportunities for the scientific innovations during regular meeting of international scientific institutions. That is largely about the scientific function. So as I mentioned earlier, it encourages scientific spirit as well as scientific attitude among people of the entire world. Third major function is the cultural function, where we see that UNESCO is actually emphasizing a lot on maintaining world peace as well as security. It tries to improve the quality of the press, tries to improve the quality of films, radio services throughout the world, irrespective of the language or region. So this is very important to understand, because it is not favoring any one language, neither it is favoring any one particular region. So it promotes programs for exchange of teachers, students, artists, writers, and it encourages study tours, group discussions, seminars, and international lecture series for promoting culture, so that people of one university, of one country, they go across to some other country, they understand their culture, they respect their culture, the cultural ties are strengthened. So it arranges for international lectures, it arranges for exchange of teachers and students, for study tour, or for some kind of group discussions or seminars. It protects and conserves world heritage, books, as well as art belonging to different nations. It tries to unify people so that world peace can be established. Now, at the end of your chapter, there is an exercise, and there are different category of questions which are given there. Under the category of very short answer question, you have question number 5. It says name 2 agencies of non-formal education, where you can talk about open school, distance education. Then there is a question number 6, what is distance education? You have question number 7, which is what is IGNOU? 8, give the full form of SCRT. And 9th, expand the abbreviation of UNESCO. Along with that, under the category of short answer question, you have question number 6, which says name 4 features of Open University. Then under the category of long answer type question, you have question explain what is correspondence education, what are the functions of NCERT, what are the functions of UGC, what is the role of UNESCO in unifying people from different parts of the world. Again, under the category of higher order thinking skills type of questions, you have question number 1, which says, do you think internet is an important medium of education? So you need to think on these lines that internet makes, education possible for everyone. It makes education possible for masses, right? It can give up-to-date information. So you need to think on those lines. Next is mass media formal agency of education? So you understand that it's an informal agency of education. So you need to talk upon those lines. So all these questions that I've just shown you, if you watch this video and the previous 2 videos related to this particular topic of functions, you should be able to answer all of these questions. So that is it. This brings us to an end of this particular topic, and in fact the entire chapter, and also brings us to an end of this particular video.